Hello, good morning. Myself, Dr. P.K. Verma, welcome you in the biology classes. In the previous sessions, I have discussed so many things about the genes and genetics. But question arises, what is the concept of gene? In simple words, it is said that genes control the characters of organism, but when you observe the chromosome from the beginning of genetics, we will see that the concept of gene has changed time to time. After discovery of Mendel's research, it was said that the characters are controlled by a specific factor or Mendelian factor. The term gene was introduced by Danish botanist Wilhelm Johansen in 1909 for these Mendelian factors. A gene is the basic physical and functional unit of heredity. It is a vague definition. Heredity means transfer of characters from the parent to offspring, and this transfer takes place with the help of a Mendelian factor or the gene. So it was physical and functional unit. But what is the really structure of the gene was not explained at that time. In the beginning, the genes were identified by characters, considering them produced by a single gene. They said that the characters are expressed by a pair of Mendelian factors, that is, a pair of genes. Every person has two copies of each gene, one inherited from each parent, and these copies are known as alleles. The alleles are forms of the same gene with a small differences in sequence of DNA bases, forming two different types of traits, different types of expressions. These small differences contribute to each individual's unique physical feature. The concept of gene has been improved time to time. On the molecular basis, Beadle and Tatum in 1941 gave the concept one gene, one enzyme or one protein hypothesis. But at that time, a structure of enzymes were unknown. It was only known that the enzymes are made of protein. So it is true that proteins are made under control of gene, but it is not perfect to say that a gene forms one enzyme or one protein. This theory is now improved as one gene, one polypeptide hypothesis. Why? There are many enzymes which are made of more than one protein subunits, that is more than one types of peptides, and each peptide is formed of different sequence of amino acids, and these peptides are also formed by different genes present in the body. So the enzymes may be aggregate of a number of polypeptides and therefore product of more than one genes. Now the modern concept include many new facts. Genes are made of DNA. Genes are not concerned only to express characters, but they control synthesis of every chemical, metabolism and physiology of body. Of course, most of them are by virtue of synthesis of various enzymes, hormones, antibodies, receptors, etc. Some genes act as instructions to make molecules called protein. That is not all. There are some genes only that take instructions from the DNA and form the messenger RNA, and these messenger RNA are responsible for formation of a specific sequence of amino acids in a protein. Many genes do not code for protein, such as ribosomal RNA and the transfer RNA forming genes. They form either the ribosomal RNA or transfer RNA. Of course, these two RNA are also helpful in protein synthesis, but these are not concerned directly with any specific type of protein synthesis. It is the messenger RNA that specifies the protein. Now, during gene expression, DNA is first copied into RNA. The RNA can be directly functional as messenger RNA or be the intermediate template for a protein that performs a function. To describe it, Crick in 1953 gave a scheme called central dogma. According to this scheme, DNA by replication process forms its own copies. That is, DNA can produce DNA by the process called replication, and DNA also is transcribed into RNA. Whatever is written on DNA, it is copied in the same language of nucleotides and form the single stranded polynucleotide known as RNA. Now RNA is translated into protein. Here messenger RNA is translated into protein, and it is helped by the ribosomal RNA as well as the transfer RNA. Now see the diagram. DNA polymerase can form DNA from DNA by the process called replication. RNA polymerase can form RNA from the DNA by the process called transcription, and the messenger RNA is translated into protein on the surface of ribosome with the help of a number of enzymes and protein factors. So it is the central dogma, it is the scheme by which the cells function. Many of the genes are such which are essential for maintenance of vital activities of the cell, such as respiration, transcription, translation, and therefore these genes are always active in all the cells of the body, and these are commonly known as housekeeping or life-keeping genes. Many of the structural genes which remain functional may be set off in one particular situation or may be set on in the other situation. They may be off in one tissue and may be on in another tissue. So there is something more associated with the gene that forms the part of the gene itself to make it on or off. For example, the production of products like amino acid tryptophan, such genes are named as repressible genes. That is, if there is overproduction, the production stops. Just oppositely, there is lactose operon, which is normally off. It can be induced to function to utilize lactose so it is called inducible gene. The concept of gene continues to be refined as new phenomena are discovered. For example, regulatory region of a gene can be far removed from its coding region, and coding region can be split into several exons. We shall study them separately in the topic transcription. Therefore, a broader modern working definition of gene is any discrete locus of heritable genomic sequence that affects an organism's trait by being expressed as a functional product or by regulation of gene expression. That is, gene is a locus in the DNA containing some 1,000 pairs of nucleotides. They control formation of a character, formation of a product, physiological regulator, a biomolecule, and the process is called gene expression. Now come to a major topic, operon concept. Jacob and Monod in 1961 discussed the mechanism of gene action at first when they discovered lactose operon in Escherichia coli. He developed the operon concept. Escherichia coli, that is inhabitant of our colon, our large intestine, normally has sufficient supply of glucose, so it utilizes glucose for its normal activity. It does not utilize lactose. In the culture medium, if glucose is not given as supplement but lactose is given, it becomes on to utilize lactose. An operon is the group of genes arranged in a series, the expression of which is controlled by a common mechanism. This definition is given in relation to bacteria, where a number of units forming different parts of messenger RNA or different parts of protein having different functions are arranged in a series, and they all become on, or their regulation is common, so that they are synthesized as a single long chain of messenger RNA, form a long protein, and then the protein divides to control different steps of functions. In lactose operon, there are 3 genes or cistron. What is the gene or cistron? It is the part in which messenger RNA is formed. These cistrons are named as Z, Y, and A. The series is at first Z, then Y, and then A. These are responsible for synthesis of messenger RNA for the enzyme beta-galactosidase, lac permease, transacetylase. Z synthesizes beta-galactosidase, Y synthesizes lac permease, and A synthesizes transacetylase, needed for the metabolism of lactose. That is, metabolism of lactose needs these 3 enzymes. These genes are transcribed together as one long messenger RNA, and its synthesis is regulated by a common promoter and operator system. That is, once the gene becomes on, all the 3 parts form the RNA, and once the RNA is formed, all the 3 enzymes are formed together. However, expression of this operon is controlled by a regulatory gene present some distance away from the promoter site. That is, there is a regulatory system. It is not essential that it is part of this operon. It may be ahead this position, much away from this position, or in case of eukaryote, it may be present on any other chromosome as well. The promoter is considered as a start signal. It has long segments over 100 base pairs or more. In different genes, its length and sequence varies. But there are two conserved or consensus segments in each promoter. What I mean to say, that every chromosome in the eukaryote and every gene in the prokaryote and eukaryotes have a starting signaling point known as promoter. The promoter contains 100 base pairs or more. Its sequence varies from gene to gene, but in every promoter there is a common thing known as conserved or consensus segment. That is, the sequence of a special region is found in every promoter of every gene. What are these? In prokaryotes, one conserved sequence is ahead 35 nucleotide distance and another 10 nucleotide distance before the initiation point. That is the point where RNA synthesis begins, is initiation point, and before 10 base or 35 base distance they have a specific sequence of nucleotides. The -35 segment is considered as the site of initial binding of DNA-dependent RNA polymerase. DNA-dependent means RNA is synthesized on DNA, so it is DNA-dependent RNA polymerase. It at first becomes attached on the -35 segment. Or recognition sequence. It has some specific sequence that is recognized by the enzyme RNA polymerase. What is the sequence? TTGACA. In every promoter, this 6 bases TTGACA are found at the 35 nucleotide distance. But it may be absent. Another sequence that is at -10 segment, the arrangement is TATAATG. TATAATG. It is commonly known as Pribnow box. You have to remember this name, that the -10 sequence in prokaryote is called Pribnow box. It is the actual site at which enzyme becomes actually bound in absence of inhibitor or repressor molecule. If there is no inhibitor, nothing to stop their function, in that condition enzyme RNA polymerase becomes attached to Pribnow box at 10 nucleotide before the point of origin and the sequence of bases is TATAATG. In eukaryotes, the consensus sequence is -25 segment and -75. That is 25 bases before initiation point and 75 bases before initiation point, there are two conserved sequences. At minus 25 segment, the sequence is TA, TA, AAA. TA, TA, AAA. It is commonly known as Tata box or Hogness box. This Tata box has been asked in a number of examinations, NEET and earlier forms of examination repeatedly. The another name is Hogness box and the other sequence is GG, CC, AA, TCT, but commonly it is called CAAT box. So these conserved sequences are the sequences that are identified by RNA polymerase or it's one of the protein factor known as sigma factor with the help of which the enzyme becomes attached to promoter. Now at promoter, catabolic activity protein CAP and RNA polymerase bind to initiate transcription. Means RNA polymerase alone can bind this position, but there is a catabolic activator protein that helps in binding of the enzyme. On the operator or repressor, after the promoter, there is a small segment called operator or repressor. Molecule can be attached to set the gene off. When on the operator, a repressor or inhibitor molecule is attached, the gene is set off. It is the third segment of gene in which actually RNA synthesis takes place. Third segment means the first is regulatory gene, second is promoter and third is operator. After that, the real synthesis of RNA begins on the segment called cistron. So cistron is the part where transcription begins. This is the TT GACG 35 minus 35 region, TAT minus 10 region. Transcription begins in this region. This special small region is the operator, promoter, operator and cistron. These are the three major parts of the gene. Now see the structure of lac operon. At this site, catabolic activity protein. This catabolic activator protein helps in binding of the RNA polymerase, and then this promoter has the sequence, recognition sequence, due to which the enzyme get attached here. It crosses the operator in absence of this inhibitor. This inhibitor or repressor, when becomes attached to operator, either the enzyme cannot become attached, or if it gets attached, it cannot move forward. After that, this lac operon contains Z, Y and A cistone. These are the three cistones. Now, glucose present, lactose absent. When glucose is present, the inhibitor is attached on operon at the operator site. So the promoter site becomes inactive, it cannot bind enzyme, or if binds, the enzyme cannot move forward. There is no synthesis of RNA, no synthesis of lactose utilizing enzymes. Now glucose becomes absent and lactose is present. The inhibitor is removed by presence of lactose. Therefore, the enzyme RNA polymerase becomes attached to promoter, moves forward crossing operator some 50 base pairs distance, and then come into Z region. Now a long RNA is synthesized in the three regions, and then they synthesize a long protein. This is the messenger RNA, a long messenger RNA. On three parts of this RNA, Z part, Y part, A part, protein chains are formed, and these protein chains break to act as beta-galactosidase, lac-permease, and trans-acetylase. Here, beta-galactosidase breaks the beta-galactoside bond or glucoside bond between galactose and glucose. So, two parts of the lactose break away. Permease increases permeability of cell membrane for lactose so that more lactose can enter into the cell. And trans-acetylase transfers acetyl group from one molecule to another. It is not directly involved in lactose utilization. Now take another example of tryptophan operon. It is more complex. Usually it is functional. Tryptophan is formed with the help of almost 5 enzymes, but sometimes tryptophan is not utilized, so it accumulates in the cell. This over-accumulation causes inhibition, feedback inhibition, and the gene becomes off. The TRP operon found in E. coli bacteria is a group of genes that encodes biosynthetic enzymes for the amino acid tryptophan. TRP operon is expressed, that is turned on, when the tryptophan level is low, and repressed, that is turned off, when the tryptophan level is high. The TRP operon is regulated by TRP repressor gene. TRP operon contains 5 structural genes, that is histones E, D, C, B, A. The arrangement is inverted. A, B, C, D, E. It is opposite. E, D, C, B, A. That encodes enzymatic parts of the pathway. It also contains a repressive regulatory gene called TRPR, that is repressive. TRPR has a promoter where RNA polymerase binds and synthesizes messenger RNA for regulatory protein. That is a different gene. The protein that is synthesized by TRPR then binds to the operator, which then causes transcription to be blocked. That is, this repressor protein is formed elsewhere on the gene called TRPR. In the TRP operon, tryptophan binds to repressor, effectively blocking gene transcription. In this situation, repression is that of RNA polymerase transcribing the genes in the operon, that is EDCBA. Histones will not function. Also, unlike the lac operon, TRP operon consists of a leader peptide and an attenuation sequence that allows for graded regulation. It is a complex mechanism, and usually the students are taught about the tryptophan operon at master's level. It is an example of repressible negative regulation of gene expression. Negative means if the production is over, concentrations become high, then there is feedback regulation. When the operon's regulatory sequence, the operator is bound to repressor protein in the presence of tryptophan. That is, the repressor protein cannot bind the operator site when tryptophan level is low. When its level becomes high, it modifies the inhibitor protein, and then the repressor co-repressor complex becomes attached to the operator. This is the structure of tryptophan operator. Here you see a separate gene TRPR. It is shown by broken line here. The original gene promoter operator. This small segment is attenuator containing a leader part. Then the cystone TRPE, D, C, B and A. The tryptophan contains 5 structural genes and their roles are: E forms anthranilate synthetase, produces anthranilate. D forms cooperate with TRPE, that is, cooperates with anthranilate. C phosphoribosyl anthranilate isomerase. B indole 3 glycerol phosphate synthetase. A and B, two subunits of tryptophan synthetase, combine tryptopide C product with serine to produce tryptophan. In bacteria, almost every operon has many cystones, so bacterial genes are multicystonic. But in eukaryote, most genes are monocystonic. That is, it synthesizes only one messenger RNA and only one polypeptide. It is because eukaryote has sufficiently high amount of DNA. So there is no problem of having separate promoter operator sites. Now with this, you have come to know the meaning of a gene, the detailed structure of the gene and mechanism, how the genes function, how they can be set on or set off. Goodbye. Thank you.